Welcome to Euthenia Travels, the channel that takes you on a journey of exploration and discovery, exposing the hidden secrets and mysteries of the world. Today, we dive deep into the intriguing world of Japanese women and their preference for older men. Hold on to your seats, because this will be a roller coaster of facts, humor, and jaw-dropping secrets you won't find anywhere else. Shushing face. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. Why do Japanese women prefer older men? Well, there's an old saying in Japan that goes, "A man of 30 is only half-baked." And trust me, it's not just about the age. It's about the maturity and stability that comes with it. Japanese women value these qualities in a partner and are drawn to men who have their lives together. It's like they're saying, "Hey, I'm looking for a relationship, not a trip to Chuck E. Cheese," face with tears of joy. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more going on beneath the surface. For instance, did you know that in Japan, the age gap between couples can be as large as 10 to 20 years? Face with open mouth, that's enough time to watch all 9 seasons of The Office twice. And don't even get me started on the Japanese obsession with Tashishita relationships, where the woman is significantly younger than the man. It's like they've got a thing for May-December romances. Kiss. But there's a catch. While the Tashishita relationship might be all the rage in Japan, it's not always about love and romance. Sometimes, it's about practicality and financial stability. You see, in Japan, it's still common for men to be the primary breadwinners in a relationship, while women are expected to be homemakers. So, it's not just about finding a soulmate, but also finding a partner who can provide a comfortable life. And you know what else is important in a Japanese relationship? Harmony. Japanese culture places a lot of emphasis on group harmony, and that extends to romantic relationships. So, a relationship between a young woman and an older man is often seen as more stable and harmonious. It's like a well-oiled machine, smoothly humming along with no unexpected breakdowns or sudden left turns. Sounds pretty good, right? Sunrise. Now, let's not forget about the role of tradition in all this. In Japanese society, age is highly revered. Older people are seen as wiser, more experienced, and deserving of respect. And let's be honest, it's not just Japanese women who are into older men. Take a look at the DILF trend in the West. Older men are having a moment right now, thanks to the likes of George Clooney, Sean Connery, and, let's face it, the most interesting man in the world. Smiling face with sunglasses. But let's get serious for a moment. The age gap in Japanese relationships can also have its drawbacks. One of the biggest issues is that of power imbalance. When there's a significant age gap between partners, the older person often has more power in the relationship. This can lead to the younger person feeling like their opinion doesn't matter or that they have to cater to their partner's every whim. It's like being in a relationship with a dictator, but instead of ruling a country, they're ruling your heart. And let's not forget the societal pressures that come with these relationships. In Japan, it's not uncommon for families to have a say in their children's romantic lives. So, if you're a young woman dating an older man, you might face criticism or disapproval from your family, friends, and society at large. It's like you're in a constant game of please everyone, but the odds are stacked against you. Now, let's talk about the issues that arise once these couples tie the knot. One of the biggest challenges is that of childbearing. If you're a young woman married to an older man, you might feel pressure to start a family sooner rather than later. After all, your husband might not want to be changing diapers when he's pushing 60. But starting a family when you're young can be tough, especially if you're still trying to establish yourself in your career or education. And speaking of careers and education, that brings us to the next challenge, gender roles. In traditional Japanese culture, women are expected to be homemakers and caregivers, while men are expected to be the breadwinners. But let's be real, it's not the 1950s anymore. Women are killing it in the workforce and climbing the corporate ladder faster than you can say "girl boss." But in a relationship with an older man, it can be hard to break free from traditional gender roles. And let's not forget about the social stigma that these relationships can carry. In Japan, couples with a significant age gap can face a lot of gossip and judgment. People might assume that the woman is a gold digger or that the man is a creep. It's like everyone has their own assumptions and preconceived notions about your relationship, and they're not afraid to share them with the world. Now, let's flip the script. It's not just about the older men. What about the younger men? They're out there, feeling left out of the love game. In Japan, it can be hard for younger men to compete with their older counterparts when it comes to relationships. After all, older men are seen as more stable, more established, and more mature. It's like the dating game is rigged, and the older guys have all the cheat codes. And let's not forget about the impact that this preference for older men has on the younger generation of Japanese men. It can lead to low self-esteem, frustration, and even resentment. They might feel like they're not good enough, or that they're not being given a fair shot in the dating scene. It's like they're the underdogs of love, struggling to find a way to win. So, why do Japanese women prefer older men? Well, there's no single answer. It's a mix of cultural, societal, and personal factors. But one thing is for sure, this preference has a ripple effect on Japanese society. It affects the younger generation of men, who struggle to find their place in the dating world. It affects young women, who might feel pressure to conform to traditional gender roles and societal expectations. And it affects the couples themselves, who face challenges and judgments from all sides. It's like a tangled web of tradition, modernity, and love. Now, you might be thinking, okay, all this is great, but what about the older women? Do they just disappear into thin air? And the answer is a resounding no. Older women in Japan are still rocking it. They're successful in their careers, independent, and kicking some serious ass. But they're also facing their own set of challenges when it comes to relationships. You see, in Japan, older women often struggle to find partners. The dating pool for older women in Japan can be pretty shallow. Why? Well, for one thing, there's a societal preference for younger women. And when you add in the fact that many Japanese men are already married or in long-term relationships, it can be tough for older women to find a suitable partner. But these ladies aren't just sitting around moping. They're taking matters into their own hands. Many are pursuing what's called konkatsu or marriage hunting. It's like a high-stakes game. Marriage hunting is a whole other beast in Japan. These older women attend speed dating events, go to matchmaking parties, and use dating apps to find potential husbands. It's like The Bachelor, but with a much higher stakes and a lot less drama. Ring. But it's not all roses and champagne. Some women are opting for a different kind of relationship, the Ashiinari konkatsu or younger man hunting. That's right, these ladies are going after younger men. Ashiinari konkatsu isn't exactly mainstream, but it's growing in popularity. Older women are seeing the benefits of dating younger men. They're more energetic, they have a different perspective on life, and they don't come with the same societal baggage as older men. It's like these women are saying, hey, if the younger women can date older men, why can't we date younger men? But of course, dating a younger man comes with its own set of challenges. First of all, there's the social stigma. In Japan, it's still considered unusual for an older woman to date a younger man. It's like breaking an unwritten rule. People might gossip, stare, or even judge you harshly. And let's not forget the judgment from family and friends. It can be tough to navigate these social pressures. And then there's the issue of compatibility. Younger men might not be as established in their careers or finances, which can create friction in a relationship. There's also the question of children. The children question. When an older woman dates a younger man, the clock is ticking even louder than it already was. If she wants children, she might feel pressure to start a family sooner rather than later, while her partner might not be ready for that kind of commitment. And let's not forget about the cougar stereotype. You know the one, older woman, younger man, lots of stereotypes about women being desperate or predatory. In Japan, this stereotype is alive and well, making it even harder for older women to pursue younger men without judgment. So, what does all this mean for Japanese women and their relationships? Well, it seems like no matter what age or gender you are, there are challenges to navigate. Japanese society puts a lot of emphasis on tradition, gender roles, and societal expectations, which can make finding a partner a real challenge. But on the flip side, it's encouraging to see that some women are breaking the mold and pursuing what makes them happy, whether that's an older man, a younger man, or none at all. So, what can we learn from all this? Here are a few takeaways. Age doesn't define compatibility. Whether you're an older woman or a younger man, love is love. Japanese society puts a lot of emphasis on tradition, but things are slowly changing. Don't be afraid to break the mold and pursue what makes you happy. Life's too short to live by someone else's rules. And maybe, just maybe, nightingale droppings aren't the strangest beauty secret out there.